Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So it looks like we're heading for some egg shortages yet again. Yes, you heard this correctly. And guys, this video is not about the egg shortages, so please do bear with me. When I've seen this on the news, it frankly got me a little bit upset. But nonetheless, you probably remember last year we had shortages of eggs. It's pretty much where you go to the supermarket and you pretty much have an empty shelves apart from maybe one or two very expensive eggs. And this was all due to the outbreak of the bird flu. And to be frank, actually in the end of last year, we had few smaller outbreaks in the smaller farms where they then been introducing a 3-kilometer protection zone and 10-kilometer surveillance zone. For anybody who's not aware, the 3-kilometer protection zone, that means that there's restricted movement on the chickens between the farms and it's mandatory that the chickens stay inside. And this goes for the big commercial farms and it goes for the backyard flock as well. And when we're talking about the 10-kilometer zone, this is literally just to make sure if you do want to move the chickens, you kind of have to report this and be a little bit more vigilant about the bird flu altogether. So currently, I even had messages from the guys in America that you are also, or the guys in America also experiencing a shortages of eggs because of the bird flu. And yet again, the same time last year we experienced shortages because of the bird flu. The guys in America also had this pretty much at the same time, which is somewhat a bit peculiar, but nonetheless. So the point is now, guys, there's something that I've seen in the news the other day, is there's been another outbreak in a farm in Shropshire. And unfortunately, this is one of the big farms, okay, big farms. They supply a UK more than 50% of the eggs from those chickens, and they have one of the largest packing plants of eggs as well. So literally a couple of days ago they found a bird flu case in their flock, amongst their flock. But right, hear me now, they are planning to cull 1 million of chickens, okay, million of birds, over 1 million in fact. This is pretty sad and rather upsetting. To some of you might think, well, actually it depends, how severe the outbreak is, because after all, they're there to control this. And this is the whole idea of culling the birds, right? Well, yes, to some extent. But hear me, okay? The case, it was isolated case, okay? And there was a shed. It was contained case of a shed, okay, of 24 chickens. Just 24. 24 chickens. They didn't say how many of them were ill. Okay, it could be one or two that's got ill. And I understand if you have to then cull all of them because they're together in the contained shed, just 24 of them. Okay, so there's a decision now for them to, well, they've been told they'll need to cull the rest of their chickens, which is more than 1 million. Okay, we're not talking about extra 1,000 or extra 10,000 or extra 100,000. We're talking about 1 million of chickens. Just let it sink in for a minute. 1 million for the sake of contained disease in the shed. I understand that could create some sort of biosecurity measurements, which they did before a couple of years back, when they told people if you do go outside, okay, wear one type of shoes, and then when you go inside, in your hen house type thing, you change your shoes to stop the spread between the wild birds and the chickens. I understand. They could cull those 24 chickens and then burn the shed down to get rid of anything that's there. But no, they're actually going to cull the whole lot. I find this extremely upsetting because I think this is totally unnecessary. And I think, to be frank, it's been done deliberately. Again, call me conspiracy theories, but they've been attacking our dairy industry, our meat industry already anyway, and now they're after chickens. Because just think of the numbers, yet again, just consider that, okay? And if we're talking about the spread, the reason they're talking about it and doing this, because they want to limit the spread between the birds. Well, the bird flu, initially it started from a wild bird. You don't see them culling those wild birds in the millions. You do, they just fly around, they crap anyway. If they're obviously, if they're diseased, another bird might get it. But the cases were ever so limiting, in fact, to what they can actually control or see. And again, they're worried about, oh, we're going to spread to the mammals because it's mutated. Well, the bird flu been around for like years and years and years, like long time. And it's never been such a big deal. But because they found one case that's apparently spread to fox or something, just one isolated case, sadly, they made it a huge deal. So the point is, as I said, that farm, it supplies the UK 50% pretty much of all of the barn eggs. This is a massive deal. And because they have the egg packing plant in there, this is going to be season operation as well. So they warned us there that unfortunately, because of such a mass culling, there are going to be shortages of eggs on the shelves. But this is, again, this is not my point of this video, guys. Yes, of course, be prepared for the egg shortages if you do rely on them. But my point is that every time the outbreak happens, they make a choice, or somebody makes a choice to go and do this and actually do the chickens, like cull pretty much all of them on the farm every time. They, at the same time, they're whinging, you know, that the chicken population is declining. I think altogether in UK we have about 88 million reported birds. They're the ones that are actually registered birds. And the figure's been going down. Well, and they're wondering why, to be frank. Come on, think about it. But anyway, for the past 2 years, the population of birds, chickens, been going down by, and the last year was actually 10%. And again, I'm still thinking, well, why are you questioning why is the, the numbers of birds going down? Well, because you're bloody killing them by a million. But this is the point that I just don't understand. I totally understand the security measurements in terms of, biosecurity, make sure that the things don't spread. But I think there's a little bit of OTT. And again, this also happens in America. There are different governing bodies, but they seem to be doing pretty much the same thing and culling those poor little birds in huge, huge numbers. I do honestly think it is absolutely ridiculous. I think it's totally unfair. I wonder where the Greenpeace or whoever people that are there for the animal welfare, because to me, this is absolute joke. So anyway, guys, there we are. I just wanted to bring this to your attention because, as I said, I've read this and I found this very, very upsetting. I think it is very, very unnecessary, but there we are. So the outcome of this will be, again, an empty shelf of eggs. So there we are. Anyway, I want to hear, guys, to what you guys thinking. I do like to get you involved into those kind of little discussions because at the end of the day, we all do kind of have a different opinions on those sort of things. And maybe I'm massively missing a point, but all I'm thinking about is the poor little farmer that's going to lose, a million of birds, literally millions of birds on his farm, and I don't know the effect it's going to have on his business. Probably quite detrimental anyway, but that's that. So anyway, please guys, comment your thoughts down below. Thank you very much for watching. Thumbs up, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye.